What's up, everybody? Mogown Monster here, along with the lovely Stevie B.
Hey.
Welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF. Great to see everybody already here in chat. You amateur.
Yeah. There you go.
Hope you guys are all doing good. Who we got here? Christy, how are you? Good to see you again. Long time no see. Hey, Sandra. How you doing? WTF Mike's in here. What's up, Mike? Keep saying I'm late. I'm not late. We're not late.
I said who? I said who's late? And Mike said it.
I always post up 20 minutes before, and then,
Jim. What's up, Jim?
What's going on, Jim? Hey, Harold. Who else is in here? I gotta get my glasses on.
Window. Mr. Haywood, how you doing? TVG. What?
Nothing. Like, Mr. Haywood, how you doing?
No.
I like that. Sounds so enthusiastic.
No. It's just how I sound.
What's up, Wendell? So, yeah, Stevie's under the weather. She's got a head cold or something going on. Roger Blair, what's up? So what happened? No fishing today there, Michael? Hey, Connor, I didn't go either. I mean, I took a few casts out here, but I have no confidence in the fishing out here right now. So it's like I don't even want to bother. I'd rather go down to another lake. Ben, what's up, man?
Hey, good to see you, Ben.
Richie.
I don't see you, but good to see you.
What's going on?
There you go. Roger Blair.
Richie said he had a gator behind his fence. Yeah, he did.
Sure did.
Did it leave on its own, Richie? You got to fill us in here.
Yeah, you kind of left us hanging.
Yeah. There's no chat. He sent a picture. I'm like, dude, is that in your backyard? And he's got a fence that surrounds his backyard, and it was on the other side of the fence.
Well, on the other side of the fence is like 20-something thousand acres of protected wildlife.
Yeah.
Managed area. Gator just wandered up and started peeking.
So he split right on. See, he said yes, he did. He left.
Good.
He knew where he was. I mean, as far as water was and whatever. Could have been a female laying eggs. Who knows?
He was just hanging out, looky-loo.
Well, he figures the tortoise is hanging out there.
Well, the dogs are back there. And
well, that's a snack.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't 5-6 foot gator. It's not that big.
But there's hogs out there, too. So
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see
I saw a ton of baby ones.
wallows back there and where they've been rooting around.
That night I was hanging out the camper. I woke up because I heard grunting noises, and I look out the window through the screen, and I see 1, 2, 3. I'm counting 7 little piggies. I'm like, where the little ones are, the big ones out there, and I had to pee. I'm like, I'm not going out there.
Mike said he was window shopping. The gator. Yeah.
Right? He sure was.
You didn't know we had He goes, I didn't know we had a huge swamp behind us all the way to the Gulf.
Well, yeah.
Just look on any map.
You're not, I mean, just a couple miles, if that, from...
Oh, State Park and down the street. It's all marsh back there.
He's not far from the Gulf at all. Hence our concern during the hurricanes.
Yes. Absolutely. I know that place will flood.
Yeah. Easily. Not much between you and the swamp at all.
It did flood a couple times last year, I think, once or twice down in Crystal River. Came all the way up over 19.
Oh, yeah, it came up over the highway.
Yeah.
100 to 150 feet away. If that, I would say.
No, it's probably, I don't know where it starts out there, but
Next puddle over. You know. Miss Sandra Piper, how you doing, hon?
Mike says, well, there you go, Richie. You pretty much have oceanfront property.
This is true.
I wouldn't want to wade through it to get to the beach.
No. Not after seeing that gator.
Hell, I don't like getting close to the water in where I work. Big ass gators.
LIB said Crystal River is heavenly.
Yeah,
Sure is.
it's just tough navigating in that area because there are a lot of obstacles and hazards that you can't see. You got to watch the tides.
Right, Tina? She says, and them gators are faster than you think. Well, Bugs and I were talking that, he's lucky that it was just sitting there looking because that thing could have went through the fence, under the fence, over the fence. Easily over the fence.
All right, guys, you know how this works. Links in chat. Click on that link. Come hang out. You don't want to be on camera. Click that stop camera. Don't have to be on camera. And turn off YouTube. Just stay on StreamYard. So who have I missed? Tina, how are you?
LIB, what it do?
What do, Mike?
Jay Fritz. Good. Good. Very good.
Hold on, I got it.
Janet came through her surgery fine. How it is. I lost it. It scrolled.
Well, look on the screen.
Oh.
Janet came through her surgery fine. How I know? As soon as tubes came out of her mouth, she never shut up.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a blessing.
We're glad to hear that, Jay.
Absolutely. I thought about you today, Jay. I was hoping you reached out, or I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Send her my love.
And our prayers still.
Still?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. No, I'm well, it's been weighing on us, and I'm sure as well. But yeah, we think about it too, Jay.
Well, yeah, I have an event going on at work today, and I'm people in and out of the office all day, and she popped in my mind, and I was going to message you and tell you to call Jay because I hadn't heard from him, and yeah, then I got busy and it just kind of slipped me again, and good. I'm glad you're here, Jay. Thank you.
Jim's camera doing. I didn't say hi to you, Jim. What's up, buddy?
I think I did, but
so yeah, I hung out with Christy and Harold last night.
Well, I was knocked out. I think
you were sawing logs.
9:30, I was in bed. Probably by 9:32, I was knocked out. Oh, sure. I didn't feel good. Not at all. Still don't. But I'm here.
Yeah, we talked about a bunch of different stuff. Fishing, of course. I can't help it. I have to talk fishing.
I get it.
So I was watching this thing on the dire wolves that they
created.
Yeah, it's all fluff.
Is it?
Well, they're not dire wolves.
No,
okay,
they're not.
But they're. Some woman described them as a designer dog.
Yeah.
They took these features that they thought would. They genetically enhance these certain areas that they figured would be prominent aspects of the dire wolf, like the stronger legs, the bigger body.
Mixed it with the gray wolf.
Well, yeah, and it's not. all they created was a different gray wolf, or it's not a dire wolf.
Chris said it was great having you on those. Fishing and mosquitoes.
Yeah, we have those skeeters.
Oh, Skeeters, no-see-ums. I think the no-see-ums are worse. The bitches hurt when they bite.
Oh yeah.
You feel them. When you get bit by a mosquito, you feel the after effect, the itch and all that. No-see-ums, they bite. They hurt when they bite.
Richie said Spaceball is on the BBC right now.
Oh.
It's a fun movie.
WTF Mike said, so, in Sasquatch news, a Seattle muralist is going to, paint 1,000 Sasquatch statues for the woods. Let the games begin. I can barely say that. Lord.
Could you imagine? Thousand. I don't know what kind of statues he's gonna do with 1,000 of them.
From twigs.
Better off just to fucking paint the trees.
That's from twigs.
I'm not encouraging that, by the way. Michael Haywood, only 1,000?
Right.
Yeah, paint the trees, make it look like an army coming out.
LIB is back there.
Ozzy. So is
Yeah,
Jim
back
and
there.
LIB. What's up, Mikey?
See, I'm here.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, because I'm in the chat. I didn't look down.
Mike,
Hold on. I can't hear you guys. All
Mike says, I'll wait.
right, there you go.
Lock mode.
Couldn't hear you for a
Good news,
second. There.
Mog.
That's all right. I'm gonna go turn. My TV's blasted. I'm gonna go turn it off. I'll be back.
Good news, Mog. I was only back there like 60 seconds.
Right on.
You'd have
So
been back there a lot longer had I not seen Mike's comment in chat. This is I went in the green room a while. I was like, wait, what?
thanks, Mike.
Mike
Well,
says they're not
Tink-
dire wolves, but they ain't gray wolves either. It's a whole new breed, but what makes it cool is it's a breed the world has never seen and is as close as we can get.
That is what I heard also. Tink,
Yeah.
I got news for you. Day before yesterday, I was telling you about seeing that person online, and they were going by Tink.
Yes.
Well, yesterday up on the mountain, I run into somebody I know, and they had their purse with them. And in big bright letters on the side of the purse was Tink. I said, well, what does that mean? Is that a designer bag or something? No, that was the nickname that their parents or grandparents called them when they were a kid.
Oh.
So in like 24 hours, I ran across two new Tinks besides you.
Thanks, Mike. Fuck's sake.
Oh, that mic. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not you. WTF. Sorry, Mike.
No.
He says I have Tink copyrighted. How dare they?
There you go.
Believe it.
And Moggs, to answer your question from the other day, I do everything on the phone. So
Yeah,
if I'm live out wherever, even right now, I'm on the phone.
Oh, as far as when I asked what camera you're using?
Yeah.
Right on.
It's just real hard to read chat on the screen if the sun's shining, you know.
Oh yeah. I was tempted to. I got to check this schedule, but I was tempted to do tonight's show from the deck of a boat, watching a launch.
There's a launch.
Yeah, because we have a.
You just mentioning this now?
I just
I've been like,
thought
let's
about
go.
it yesterday.
What the fuck are you sitting here for?
Yeah, there's another one coming up in May, but Yeah, so we have a location down in Cape Canaveral. So
Mhm.
I was talking to my boss, and she's like, you can go down there at night and take one of the boats out. It's a 5-minute ride. You go sit out in the river and you watch these things go up, but you feel it. I'm like, feel it, really?
It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
I
go
mean,
watch one of these rocket launches
just
one of
from the
these days.
beach, from what I hear, you can feel it right there. So imagine being on the water.
Yeah,
If I can,
I've
if
done
I
it
can make
before.
a suggestion, do the live, but do a video backup, because I found out firsthand, even though it said 5G and 3 bars, the video quality was not as much as I'd like for it to be.
Yeah, well, being under a rocket launch it
Might affect it.
might have some effect.
Signal.
So do a video backup in addition to the live.
Well, we
Each
watched
of
one
you
the
have
other
a camera,
night.
right?
We watched one the other night. It was a rocket going up, and you know, I've been out here for 25 years. I can't tell you how many rocket launches I've seen. You know, from a distance. I've never seen one up close, but this one the other night was kind of unusual. The booster pack, when it broke off, it just we were able to see it. Normally, you can only see like a speck of it and then it's gone, but we saw it as it was dropping. But what was weird
Yeah,
was when it broke apart from the rocket, the I guess the shuttle itself or the rocket itself, it just glowed like this LED light,
Well,
bright
it was an
kind of.
engine.
Yeah, but we've
But
never seen it
I know,
that way before.
I never stick around long enough to see it.
Well,
I usually
I stick around and I've
see
never
it go
seen
up
it.
and walk away.
I've never seen it that brightly
But
lit.
this time we saw the bottom of it come down where they catch it. We saw it,
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
That
I was like,
control.
what the hell? Oh my God, we've never seen it
Yeah.
before.
Well,
So,
and it was cloudy too. That's what was weird. So maybe the reflection off the clouds made it seem brighter. I don't know,
Was
but
it one of
I
those space? Was it the SpaceX one?
yeah, they're shooting, what are they, Saturn 9 rockets?
yeah.
Yeah, like I'd never seen that either. But the one that we went and watched,
Satellites.
the one when we watched, it was coming out of Maryland, maybe or whatever, and like but there was like a projection of where you would see it, and I was still looking like towards that way. I got on the South Shore of Long Island, thinking, okay, I'm going to aim in that direction. We're going to see something going straight up. But it wasn't. It was going straight up, but we were still watching it go. It looked like it was on a curve for the whatever it was, 30 seconds. Passed by. But but at one point, like Steven said, it was cloudy, and it kind of was behind a cloud. But it I said, oh, it must have like hit the gas or something. But I think what it was it expanded and like pulsed because it broke apart. But at Cape Canaveral,
Cape Canaveral, that's what I was going to say, Conrad. It's Cape Canaveral. Not quite Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, you can feel it. Because when we were in Altamont Springs, you couldn't feel it. And it was close enough where you could see it by eye. But, we could see it with our eyes from there, but you didn't feel it. But if you went there and sat in like those like bleachers they have or stand around,
we're gonna be on the water.
That'll be fun, I think. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool shit.
Yeah, Mike, WTF Mike, yeah, that was in Papua New Guinea. You watched the same video I watched. It was actually about extinct animals, or it might have been where they're looking for the Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, so most of that stuff is done by Forrest Galante, and I've been following him forever. Like, his grandpa's the one that found like the coelacanth or whatever, the coelacanth, like rediscovered animals that it was like fish that was supposed to have been dead like 15 billion years ago with the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and this guy
people are still catching them, eating them.
Yeah, right. So so that's when this guy Forrest Galante like started doing a show called Extinct or Alive on Animal Planet, and I realized, well, all right, like now knowing how things really go, like in the world, like I was like, well, this guy's got to have a bunch of stuff on the side and other places, and like ways to follow them personally, and and I've been doing it for a long time. But he explains that wolf, like that, because a million people put up. There's the one video of a wolf, and people always say that's a dire wolf, and that's this, and that's that, and it's this wolf that walks across the road in front of a car, and like kind of, I don't know if it like doubles back or whatever, but it doesn't look like anything that you can identify. You know, you can't be like, oh, that's a gray wolf, that's a red, whatever. It doesn't fall into the categories. But what it is different ones mating and creating this like, yeah, different breed. Yeah, so it's not really. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it did. It looked like they look like dire wolves, but they're not. You know, they're just like, I think he said they're just some other thing now. You know.
Whole new species.
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to say dire wolf because that's almost what it is, but it's not. It's something
Yeah,
new. You know,
it's a hybrid wolf.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
a hybrid. Yeah, that's the best. Thank you. It's exact kind of the goat. It's always the legend there. He's always finishing my sentences for me. Good egg, that kid.
Good morning, Sharon. I hope you're doing all right.
Flyby Stu, what's up?
Bye.
Coy Wolf.
Like when I raised the pack of dumpster wolves.
Yeah, I could have stayed too long tonight. That's what I felt. I felt like I was trying to type, and I was like, I forget. I'll just pop on for a little bit.
All right.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I had a low tolerance for trying to complete sentences via typing tonight. It just wasn't going well for me. I was like, I'll just sit there. I'll just pop on.
Jim's the poster child for that.
Not wanting to type.
Not wanting to
It-
type, just easier to come hang out.
Yeah.
It's a phone. It's not a typewriter.
Right?
Yeah, is that what I said? Yeah. Keyboard, yeah.
I know it's a novel idea to use a phone as a phone, but that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
See, the one video that I like where it looks like a dire wolf would be is because it looks so big is the one where it's in the woods and the other dog comes, it looks like,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of dog it is, goes barking at it.
Yes.
This thing chases that dog.
Originally,
Whatever that was huge.
yeah, that was, and it was all black, and they both dogs were black, the dire wolf and the other thing, but when that thing was down, like in that crouch position originally, and the dog was standing up, and then all of a sudden that dire wolf, which I think it is too, stands
Or
up.
whatever it was.
It took like three big, it moved. It only took a few steps and it made a lot of ground, and
It
that
was
dog,
huge.
you
I was
just hear, you
surprised how
can
big
hear,
it was.
yeah, you hear the distress in the owner's voice too, like, get back here. There's no. At least it alerted him, because if that dog didn't alert him that thing was there, I mean, I tell you, that's why I say there could be something giant right there, and if you're just not paying attention, you either miss it or, most likely I think people just miss it. That I don't think it doesn't. I don't know.
That's I mean, wasn't really hiding,
No, not really.
There
Yeah.
was any trees, but they weren't like thick, shrubs or just a couple trees around it.
When I see videos like that, and like for instance that one, the Bigfoot video that I live on, it's the Independence Day video, they call it.
Yeah, where it picks up
Like-
a child, supposedly,
Right.
a juvenile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video, the direwolf video you're talking about, I would love to find the source of them, and I've spent years trying to track back to the source. I don't know where it is, and I don't know where it is, who put it up. Like, did something else happen? Were there more of them out there?
I just, I'm tired of people definitively saying that something's a hoax. You know, some shit, yeah, okay, it's obvious, but other stuff, you know, like that Independence Day or whatever one, that doesn't look like a hoax.
It's not, and that's why I don't. That's why I want to find out who put it out. I don't think it is either, and that's why I would just love to know where it came from. I understand, like maybe somebody just said to them, like, because I have a lot of people I know that have good footage, and I'm not that, but like definitive footage. I'll be like, hey, like, you know, like, you could really like change a lot of lives by putting this out there. And I know it's hard to do that. Like, I just don't want to be. They're like, you could put it up if you want. I'm like, no, because me taking it, putting it up is not going to do anything, because it's just going to be a million questions coming. And so if you don't want those questions coming, I don't want to put it out, because then it's just, it's just not going to work out.
I was supposed to see that. I see it says Ben.
I don't see it at all.
What's up, Ed?
Hey, what's up, guys?
He texted me. Look backstage.
Hey.
Yeah.
You
How
need
y'all
to create,
doing?
you need to make a podcast called Ben's Dark Porch.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Ben's dark porch. You're right. Well, I'm too ugly to have a light porch, so it's all good. Dude, but like we were talking about, like y'all
Yeah,
were just talking
No,
about.
I don't care who has the information. I still don't believe it. I think it's. I don't believe it's a hoax.
Yeah.
It says Nikki has the information. It's a hoax.
That must mean it's true.
Oh,
No. They've done no.
Hey, Doc.
Those people I've seen other people do it. They do the most horrible job trying to debunk stuff. It literally just makes no sense. It's like just being on the other end of it, just to be on the other end of it.
Michael
Yeah.
Hayden says the LAV doesn't put out.
that's what they do. It's just like whatever it is, they try to deny it.
Bro, I don't know. They made like 5 videos on me, and like people are like, they said this, they said that. I'm like, I don't care.
Wow.
I'm not trying to start shit. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
no.
No, of
Why
course
do-
not.
why
No,
do-
but I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't. There's
What?
even when you think about Thinker Thunker, right? Like, but that guy goes like to extreme lengths to show measurements and do this and do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if those measurements are accurate, even though he's showing you step by step. I'm not good with tech stuff, so I don't know if he's doing that properly. I have no idea.
Well,
you have a good point, dude.
But when he does it, even if you don't know measurements, as far as if you can see that the length of the legs and the length of the arms between the thigh and the knee and the foot and elbow, and you can see when he measures those and compares them to a human, they're not even close.
Right.
So if they're consistent measurements.
Yeah. I know. I see what
In
you're saying.
proportion to a human, they're not.
Right. I got you. Yeah. No, I'm
It's
saying
like measurements, the number doesn't matter. You can see it, and that's why he does it the way he does it.
Certain times I think that works fine, but now let's just say we're talking about what's a questionable one in my mind.
A
The Bigfoot
questionable
from
one.
the train, right? The Bigfoot from
Yeah.
the train. You ever seen that one? Now, if you were to judge the size of that one, that video is taken at a rolling pace, which I think is like a scene, like very slow, like, scenic, touristy, look at this area kind of view. But that's a big distance, right? So how do you judge the size from a distance, And it's not an easy thing to do. Like, I've started to learn along the way, like, how much the distance takes away, but it's just an estimate, it's just kind of like more of a guesstimate, really.
So you're talking about it doesn't pass the eye test for you?
No, not that necessarily. Just like if you were to measure it, can you measure it at a distance, or I don't know. But this is what I mean by like measuring science. I don't really get it necessarily.
That one's kind of weird as far as, well, because that one just kind of you see it stroll a little bit and then it just plops down. It just sits on a rock.
Yeah.
And it's like it all seemed too casual. Like Oh yeah, there's a train going by. You know, like it was just kind of weird.
I don't see why it
I
would ever
heard
stood
that
up in
was
the first place. Like,
I heard that one was somebody that had a outdoor shop close to the area, and they were pulling a prank.
right? They
I
were
could see
trying to
that.
bring. They were trying to bring in that town was trying to bring in tourists and this and that. But who knows? Who knows if that's accurate? I mean,
Well, that that train is a tourist train. It goes. I think that's the Silver Springs train. It goes from like, where is it, Durango or?
like today, I watched a video. Right? Let's just say, for instance, I watched a video today. I don't know where that train goes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't know where that train goes. But I saw a video today of them on a movie set. There's a trailer here, a trailer here for movie stars or whatever. And there's this giant, like, wolf man, dog man, whatever, in a costume. And he's got like animatronic legs or whatever, but it's a costume. There's somebody in there, and it's like 7.5 feet tall, and it's doing all these maneuvers. And I've seen that video before from the people cutting out all the extras, extra people, and this and that, and making it like, making it like this is like this is a real thing. Oh my God, it's out there, and da, da, da. And, they crop the whole video, and then people will even add a full story about it, and like, oh, I captured this, or my blah blah blah. This is from here, and I don't know, man. Like it's a tough world we live in, especially with AI. It's a really tough world. Backs are up
AI,
against
AI is not helping anything.
No, it's
man.
not.
Dave Fritz says I bought some of that Blue Chew. Didn't help little man, but my teeth enamel is hard as a rock again.
That's funny. Fucking Jay. God damn. So yeah, AI does not help anything.
No, it doesn't.
Apparently
What
He says apparently neither does the Blue Chew.
Yeah. So Mike, did you ever see anything that looked like something that you saw, like regarding the dog man?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I've been over that one a few times. Yeah.
I know. But any kind of Hollywood shit.
No, not a Hollywood shit. Man,
Um,
I can't say that necessarily. Like, I've come across like statues and stuff of like there's like a head shop that sells like big bongs and bowls and like all these fancy like weed products and all this shit and whatever. And then they have this other section, and they have like knives and like samurai swords and all sorts of shit. And they have these huge, beautiful, almost like that's something you would see in Egypt. They have Anubis with like the headdress on it, and they're massive statues, and like they have like they're done really well. It's all hard stuff though. It's like a hard statue, but I mean, like they have the
Okay.
Anubis one, and then they're holding weapons, and then they have the other one. I forget what his name is, like the eagle head.
Yeah, Horus.
Yeah, Horus, and then yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's about all I've seen really.
You saw eagle head, dude? What are
Yeah,
you talking about statues?
I can't remember what they are, but they're like Egyptian gods, the ones they have in there.
No, that's Horus, I think.
Yeah,
I think. Could
I
be
can't
wrong.
remember that name. Yeah. Every time I have them, some days I have everything right there. Today it's like there's just an empty box, so I'm working with it.
It's all good, my brother. It's all good, man.
Michael Haywood says they tested Blue Chew on a jellyfish. 30 minutes later, they used it as a bowling ball.
That's pretty funny. It wasn't his best joke, but it was pretty funny.
WTF Mike says it's a hard statue. Did it get a hold of Jay's Blue Chews?
That's a hard statue.
That's a better one.
See, we're getting there.
God damn.
Thank you, Jay, for tonight's comic relief.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Judy.
Yeah, I had even one Halloween I had bought this like mask, and like I never ended up really wearing it, and it just kind of, but it was really realistic for a pretty cheap price. And you can actually, I think there was ones you could get where like the eyes actually glow, and I mean this thing looks like some weird, creepy like woodland something. So if
Hmm.
I don't know, I mean, even with just that, like you could probably play some pretty horrific pranks on people and shit, but like.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure it could be done, but you'd have to know really where somebody's gonna be, and like I don't know. I don't know why you would do it. To me, that's not fun anymore. Maybe like when I was young, like we get off on scaring each other a bit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Judy says, "Is that Ben? Hey."
Hey,
You
dude.
gotta know. You have to know where they are and make sure they're not armed.
Right, that too. Yeah, I just had a couple of guys out from Ohio, and they were here for a few days.
How'd
And
that go?
good. Well, actually, you always get a little nervous because like I've had so many times I've had people come out and I'm like, I can't promise anything, like I can't. I'm like, no, it's cool, but like we're just chilling. I'm like, all right, I just want to put it out there because then I don't have any pressure to like do anything, and I'll just kind of like offer. They were very chill about everything, so we just kind of lackadaisically like played it by ear, picked some spots, went out to them, and one way or another, everywhere we went, everything we did was interesting, odd.
Wow.
I don't
That's
want to
what
give
you.
away. I don't want to give away too much, but there was one night we went out, and I said this area when I bring people out here, like this section over here tends to like do something weird, or people say they tend to see something. I'm like, all of a sudden, the other guy walks up behind us. I shouldn't give this part away, but something weird happened, and it was way up in the trees. I mean, way at the top. And yeah, you'll see it. I'll show it to you guys soon. I want to let them, because they put it together better than me. But
That'd be cool.
they had a good time.
Mike, you ever had some kind of like ghost type shit happen to you?
When I was living in Woodstock, every night when everybody would go to bed, I'd get all the kids to sleep and finally get them to sleep. And like, I would try to go to sleep. It would usually be anywhere around like, I'd try to get to sleep anywhere between like 9:30 and 10:30, somewhere in there. But somewhere around 10 o'clock at night, every night, something would start walking around, and it was heavy or just as heavy as me, because nobody else in the house would make the floorboards move, like the sounds, and it was a creaky house. So like I would tippy toe and like try to like sidestep through all these noises because I didn't want to wake up anybody. And especially on the stairs would like, if you stepped on a certain side of the stair, it would make this loud noise, but it would do it for
Yeah.
me, So, and I
Yeah.
would hear the thing moving through the house. So it was probably some residual ghost haunting, I guess. I don't really
Okay.
know what you categorize it as, but yeah.
So you were really young when you first started seeing paranormal stuff, right?
What's up, Chad?
No, I don't think it. No, I don't think I was really that in tune to it. Like, I don't think I was very hip to it. Like a product of my environment.
Not hip to it, but when the ghost thing happened, you were young or were you older?
Oh no! I had my own kids by then. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But no, yeah, we used to say like growing up. Now my understanding has expanded, but when I was growing up, I just fell in suit with everyone else, and every bump in the night and everything that screamed, everything was this, that, and it was like it was always a spirit, it was always an EVP or a ghost, and
Yeah.
that's just what everybody says. It's an Indian spirit, it's a ghost, and those are like the two things that you will hear everyone say.
Well, because people accept that more than they would say oh, it's a Bigfoot, or oh, it's a dog man,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
because
like
that's not in their wheelhouse, you know.
absolutely. It's
It was
a Bigfoot in orb form. Come on,
yeah,
who would
yeah,
believe that?
A lot of people.
yeah.
I believe that now.
Right. Exactly. It was like, yeah, I couldn't fathom that, but it wasn't something that was like, it's still not. It's still not. I see people here and there with like a Bigfoot sticker or a Bigfoot air freshener or whatever, but it's not like, it's just not like you step. So like where I live and where I do my stuff, it's it's further from this New York City than most mountain places where people go bigfooting up in the Hudson Valley and stuff. As far as
Yeah,
distance goes, I'm farther away, and it's just a matter of understanding. I didn't understand this was the case. I happened to just literally bump into it. It fell into my lap, if you will. You know,
what made you understand?
seeing one head to toe. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I was full on board with that whole, yeah, they got to be in the middle of nowhere. I was on board with that shit. I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. I understand. But if I really would have
Yeah,
sat there and thought about it, that's how could that be the case? How could they only be in the middle of nowhere where nobody is if we have all these sightings?
yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
dude. There's supposed to be a really good video at an Indian casino of a Bigfoot going through a dumpster,
I
but it's
think they took that
scrubbed
down.
from everything. Huh?
I think they took that down. I haven't.
Yeah,
I've
they
seen
did.
it before. I just haven't tried to look for it.
Did you see it? Because I can't find it anywhere.
No,
Mm-mm.
but shits and giggles. Let's try it.
No, I forget what the place was
Oh,
called. So, Mike,
somebody.
you do it. I'm sorry, Stevie.
Dumpster diving Bigfoot in Indian casino.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Stevie.
Somebody said the other night about an Indian face in the rock, and I searched
Mm.
for that, and the only thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
come up was Judicolor Rock. I couldn't find anything about it. So if you remember, let me know, because I'm curious to go see it.
It's not Judicolor Rock though. He's talking
No.
about there's like it looks like a face in the rock.
Yeah,
Judicolor Rock
yeah,
is
but
that big carved
Oh.
rock.
right. But when I searched for it, that's the only thing that come up, and I don't know why that would come up, because it's not resembling a face at all.
No, and that's a Cherokee legend there.
Yeah,
Judicolor.
I've been there.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been there
All right.
twice.
Well, if you one of the good places, if you're into that kind of thing, like faces in the rocks and geological, like petrified stuff, Mud Fossil University is a really he's a scientist speaking from an open standpoint about what he thinks the world is, which it's a biological thing. Like it's made up of all living things and old things, and yeah, check it out. It's pretty crazy, but this guy's smart. I don't agree with everything.
Says, when we heard the boards on the floor making noise and said, that's the old Indian going to the bathroom, which meant Dad was up.
Exactly. It's almost exactly how it was, man. It was like this thing just would come from like, I don't know, the back. There was like a big, like long. I was on the downstairs floor. I used to like sleep on the floor in the living room. And then like this something just came across the top and then walked down the stairs. And, I would hear it go back up too. I would literally hear it go back up. It's creepy.
Yeah, dude. So the house my mom grew up in, my grandmother's house, they would hear like it was haunted. All right. It was in South Louisiana, and you would hear people going up the stairs, and it would be a familiar pattern. If you ever like live with stairs, you can tell who's going up the stairs because of the cadence of their steps, right?
Yeah.
So, like they all heard it. They all heard it, you know, forever. And one day, my grandpa never believed that. But
Right, mine
one day
either.
he was in his study, and he heard somebody come up the stairs, and he looked over the there was like a little section like where the banisters are. There was like a little something to keep people from falling. He looked over that, and there was nobody there. So he believed in it after that.
Yeah. I mean,
That old experience is believing.
Yeah, I know. Dude, one time, me and my little brother went to take out the trash when we were really young. And we saw, my front parents had a paned window, you know, a paned window on the top half of that door, right?
okay.
And we saw something looking at us. And that thing was fucking green. We came back and we went, look, we were on our way back from taking out the garbage. We went, look for it, nothing there. Oh, I don't know. Strange things happen, man. Strange things happen.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It's been a while since I've had some weird shit happen. I'm overdue.
Yeah. That's what I kind of was saying to the guys that came. I said I've kind of hit my off switch. Like I've pulled back because of living in two different worlds. It's very exhausting. It's tiring. It's just very draining. And I have a lot of stuff over here, like in this world that whatever. It's maybe it's more fun to go out there and experience stuff and whatever, but there's so many responsibilities and things that need to be done at the moment that I kind of had to, untune myself. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like just too many responsibilities. It's never going to go away, so I got to deal with it. So,
yeah. You feel like you are drawn to this or it's drawn to you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, both ways. Yeah. It's,
Okay.
Yeah. So I was saying, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I had to like dial it down and like turn. Yeah. Just kind of.
So you're
I can't just go have a regular walk in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to kind of dial back a little bit. And, I've had enough excitement for a while. I could do without it for now.
I think since I've been doing this, since I've got involved in this in the past 8 years, I haven't had a normal walk in the woods. You
haven't had a paranormal walk in the
your
woods?
head's more on a swivel.
Yeah. You said you hadn't have a normal one or a paranormal one?
A normal walk in the woods. Like ever since I got into it, before I didn't think of this shit.
Yeah.
Now I go in the woods and I'm like, I'm looking around.
Yeah.
It'll change you. I watch people like I don't like. I'm driving. Even if I'm driving, I'm like, I'm watching ahead, obviously trying to paying attention to the road, but I'm also giving, these, to, each side of the road, like each side of the road in the woods,
Yeah, you're rubbernecking.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a curse, man.
Michael says watch the video on a woman fleshing a deer hide with a 4,000 psi pressure washer. I suppose that'll work.
I don't know even what the fuck to say about that.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what shoot it down? She shot it in its mouth and it shot all its organs out or something? Like, I mean, I don't know.
No, well,
Mog's on the news this morning. There was somebody who was saying the perfect way to cook a steak was to cook it in their dishwasher and then sear it.
And then what?
Sear it in a
Sear
frying
it.
pan.
Really?
And I was like, who on earth would do such a thing? How did they even think to do that?
I'll take their word
There was
for it.
alcohol involved.
I,
Then I put
Been
the
You
weed
steak-
never.
involved.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So if they're searing it, they have a range already, which means they have an oven, so they don't need to use the. Why would you use the? I don't. Maybe because there's like different pressure points, like on the. I don't know. I couldn't tell you actually. I don't
It's
know.
probably TikTok.
Oh, everybody with these life hacks, yeah, like everyone in the world.
Yeah.
It's like a big thing. Look, do this with this, and you can do this with this.
Yeah.
Jay said bought some Blue
Jay
Chew at a
said?
gas station, end up in accidental police standoff with hostages. Damn it. You're not supposed to take it in the gas station, Jay.
Hostages.
I don't know.
It wasn't a blue juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, sous vide. Jim. Sous vide is when they
Okay.
cook. They put the usually it's in a vacuum packed like plastic bag your meat, and then they put it in boiling water, and they'll have the thermostat, and they'll get it to like once it reaches like 135, 140 degrees, they'll just let it sit there and stay at that temperature. It's cooked perfectly, and then they'll sear it. For those who don't know what sous vide is.
I was one of the ones that did not know.
So as soon as he said the dishwasher, I'm like, that's the first thing I thought of was sous vide, but I couldn't remember the damn name. Michael says, I hope you didn't stab anyone, Jay.
Really, huh?
Quit poking me. Gary, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey, Gary.
Oh shit! What's the date?
Today's the 24th.
One of them long months.
Is it?
I mean, just feeling that way.
It's a what?
A long
It's-
month.
Mm.
I don't know.
Been a shitty month for sure.
I'm just reading. Yeah. Hang in there, Ben. You'll be good.
I'm good.
Right on.
I know what you mean, though, bro. I know what you. It's like one thing after another.
Yeah. But then I got a couple friends, man. They helped me out a lot.
Oh, good, man. That's good, bro.
That's what friends are for, man.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm always the one to help, and then I just something comes up on my end, and I'm like, shit. Now what I do?
Well, dude, I mean, they should be there to help you.
I don't know. That's
It
pretty
should
much
be reciprocal.
that's pretty much the point I'm at now. Those are the only people I will help is and just in general. If I'm not getting the same energy from someone, same
Yeah.
effort, same energy, same anything. Like I just don't.
Dude, I
I'm not-
understand. Trust me.
Well, because there's helping someone, then and there's being used.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, and there was, yeah. There was just a point, and there was a point where like a lot of people would come to me like all the time for everything and I'm enjoying the silence right now. Like it's a quiet time.
That's understandable, man. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think
step away every once in a while.
right. Yeah.
Regroup.
And there's a lot of people out there that are. So I don't know. There's not a lot of people on the ground like, but there's a million people doing this, and it's, it just seems like there's just so much of it, there's just so much of it. I don't want to try to keep up with it all, and uh you know let the
Yeah.
world have their moment. I'm watching everything go in reverse for the most part. Not with everybody, not with the big group, not with us, the small group of knowledgeable people, but it's a lot of areas where it's like circle jerking people is the thing to do, because you keep them in the loop.
Yeah,
No.
I know what you mean as far as you think it's going backwards. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not going forwards like you would think it would. But then you look at, and I'm new to this, but you look at these people who have spent their lives into this subject, and it didn't get any further.
And
Proven. It has. You would think 2025, somebody fucking have some evidence by now that's undeniable, and what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what you're talking about, Mike?
Well,
Yeah. In a nutshell, and then I'm not the type of person that's like greedy or like don't care. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like gonna like not keep things from people, whatever. Like some stuff's personal, whatever. But like I've tried to hand like a lot of people like certain keys to success, and the key to the door, where they're at, and like it's like 9 out of 10 of them won't use it. They'll just keep smacking into that door and over and over and over and over, and you just gotta let them.
But dude,
You just gotta
people
let
have different points of view,
I get it. I do too. Of course, everybody does. I have points of view. I'm a product of my environment. I'm a product of my history.
Absolutely.
I have a different blood running through me and a nationality running through me and all these things. So that's why I always make it a point to say, when I go out, I go with a blank slate. And I say, I don't know shit about anything in here today. I don't know what's going on here today. But if it's a positive, if it's something, like if you want to show me like universe, nature, woods, Mother Nature, I'm here for it. That kind of thing. And I try to not like sway one way or another, but
Yeah.
it's what it is.
And so
Some people realize that if they find hard evidence, search is over, and the money stops coming in, or the search.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have.
So, Mike, what do you think that the reason is that we don't have definitive proof right now?
To have definitive proof, you would have to have some type of scientific process, and paranormal does not repeat. I mean, it just doesn't repeat. It is difficult to get paranormal on a schedule.
But you're saying it's paranormal.
Yeah,
what makes you think that it's paranormal?
It's paranormal until it can be scientifically explained.
Okay, so it's, but I mean, paranormal, no. Well, no, not really. It's
like if it's a flesh and blood creature, it doesn't fall under paranormal.
Yeah, it's considered a cryptid. But I've seen these. Like, so to me, they're not cryptids, but they're considered a cryptid till scientifically proven as a, species or whatever you want to call it, right? And there's never going to be anything that makes it. Like, there's never going to be anything that we're going to be able to do that's going to make the world say, like I said this before, like it's going to take a Sasquatch standing in front of the world live, and with a microphone talking, and there's still going to be people that will not, You know, go,
Yeah.
you know,
And
like how Congress came out and said there's UFOs, there's this, there's you know, go tell my grandpa about a UFO. He will, you know, he's gonna smack you out of his house because he don't give a shit about anything like that. You know what I mean? Like he cares about his grass being lawn, like the grass being cut. There's air in the tires. Getting, you know what? It's like shit. Like you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But in your grandpa's generation, if the government would say something, that means it is concrete and it's real.
Right.
So if the government doesn't say anything about something, like they're not saying shit about UFOs when there's been this whole UFO drone shit where you live. I mean, I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say.
That I don't even know. That was in Jersey, but we've had those here forever. And you know, people kept asking me, "What's going on with these drones? What's going on?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I don't watch the news." I said, "They've been here. They'll be here when this is over. You know, when everyone forgets about this in 10 days or a week, they'll still be here. You know, just like
Are they still there?
Yeah. They, you know, it's just a thing that happens. They.
And what is it? And why don't we have an explanation for it if it's invading our airspace? You know what I'm saying?
And why do we allow it?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's really, I mean, there's a million different answers, I guess. And I don't think it's one, because I can go out and get a drone, right? I can go out and get one. I'll probably make it really fancy. I could probably get a good couple of tech heads and really hook it up and make it look wild big. And I mean, I've seen a guy stand on the middle of one with like propellers around, pick up and fly him away. So, I mean, I've seen a guy put a seat on a drone and build it out. So, I mean, who are they? What are they doing? I don't give a shit, honestly. As long as they don't bother me, I don't really care. Because there's so much of it. You know, it's just... There's so many angles to it. Could it be a test? Could it be this? Could it be that? I don't know, but I've never seen them like that, where there's a whole shitload of them just over somebody's house. That I don't see, but I've seen the ones they're talking about buzzing by. You know, last night I was out with the guys from Ohio. There was 2 Blackhawks hovering. Like they don't usually go and stay in the area, but they were like. Really like over my vehicle. Like I don't know if they were looking for us or looking for someone else, but or whatever. Blackhawks, I don't know why they would be doing that, but I know that sound like from anywhere. And
doesn't that really make you ask yourself why?
Yeah, it does. I mean, they fly over my house all the time. They fly low. But it's all stuff that makes you really speculate. You know, you can't. I don't talk about them because all it does is take you down a conspiracy rabbit hole.
Sure.
Because what's somebody gonna say? Doesn't matter. You know, once they put out, oh, there's Blackhawks flying over my house every day. There's somebody's gonna say, oh, that's just their flight pattern, and then somebody's gonna say, oh, it's for you because they know you're connected with Bigfoot, and then someone else is gonna say, oh, this and this and this and this, and it's just an unnecessary rabbit hole, and that we don't need to go down. So I push it to the side. You know what I'm saying? But when they're in the woods with me, above me like that, and like, it ruined it. It ruined the night for a while until they ran out of gas, you know, or had to go back or whatever. No.
Yeah, that is weird.
Apparently you're in a hot spot, which I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. I'm just gonna make an assumption. Apparently you're in a hot spot and they don't want people to be there, right?
Yeah, well, most places are not allowed at night, but like a lot of them have gates on them or security gates. This place is very, very, very hot spot, very big hot spot. And at least for me, I've never really I brought people there in the daytime. And we've had weird shit happen. Mostly Brian from Montauk Strange. We've seen some weird things. Deer that weren't deer. It would look like something was on the back of a deer riding it. It looks like the deer had a wig on it. So at first we thought, oh, this was maybe like a buck that like you know, like got somebody like got in a bag maybe, or like I don't know, maybe got something on its head, but all
Some
of a sudden,
monster problem, huh?
yeah, maybe, yeah, right. We were thinking like, but it was not. It was, I don't know. You got to look at his footage because he got it way better. But we both
Damn.
got a piece. We both got different pieces of what was going on around us, and then he caught a video of something with a typical Bigfoot head, conical head, bobbing past the ridge. It's a bunch of glacial ridges. It's all a big glacier, but it goes. There's very big drops and you know, ups and downs to it, and winds and turns to it. So you're constantly like spinning in a circle and going around curves, trying to like see something. And he's got something bobbing by. So we don't know how tall it was. What is it, 4 feet tall, or was it? You know, I have no idea. He just caught the top of it because I can't figure out where he was filming exactly, which way he was aiming at that time.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. What's up, Wendell?
No,
Oh,
it's
is
David.
that Dave? Oh, it's Knack. What's up, bud?
What's up, Wendell?
I like them piebald deer you showed. Them was pretty
What?
cool. Them
I gotta
piebald.
go. I gotta go find her. I'm attached to that deer because she was a
Yeah.
baby. You know, she was a baby when I first saw her.
You still see
Yeah.
that piebald?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty deer. How's it going, Moggs? Everybody?
What's going on, David?
Y'all doing
Hey, how you
all
doing,
right?
Piebald deer is what it's part white and it's mixed. It's almost like part albino, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. Some of them are like mostly white. You know, some of them have like, yeah. This one's mostly like when she was young, she had just a big white patch on her back, like huge white patch, and somewhere else too, maybe. But I seen it again. I don't know. It's got to be 3 years old by now, or 2.5, whatever. But with seasons involved. But I'm looking forward to seeing how big she got over the winter because I had only seen her here and there passing by. So I'll try and get some footage of it.
What's up,
What kind of
Northwoods?
deer?
Yeah. Granite State. What's up?
You know, Mike is talking about all that. People won't find this and that, but you know, the mountain gorilla. Hang on, my dog's going crazy fighting. The mountain gorilla. You know, they didn't believe in it for over 100 years till scientists finally got brave enough to go in the woods and look for it. And they finally found it.
Well,
And
it
that's what
wasn't
it's gonna
lost.
take.
The locals knew it was there.
Yeah, I mean, but they were telling the truth, and the people we were going in, and we didn't believe them, you know, and so until they finally seen it, and that's what it's going to take. I mean, you got too many people sitting in grandma's basement in the cubicles as far as they go to out of town at the corner gas station right at the end of town, and all they do is push pencils and they sit there and they say, nah, it don't exist, they never set foot in the woods.
Hold up, Wendell. Hold up.
If you think about it though, you're brainwashed because
Correct.
what do? You got all the neighborhoods. You grow up. You sit in the neighborhood. You know everybody in the neighborhood. You know what kind of dogs and cats they got. All their pets. You get to go to the zoo. You think that's the only animals that are alive on the earth because that's the only ones that have in the zoo. Okay, so the government keeps everybody dumbfounded because you're brainwashed. You know, you think this is the only thing that exists. There ain't nothing else out there.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I also don't think it has to, like Bigfoot. Like they're just not going to recognize it. They know it exists.
They can't.
Dude, they have evidence.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Dude, I'm
with
sure they
all
have
the
bodies
technology that we have, they have evidence.
But
Absolutely.
there's been evidence all over the world, like already. It's accepted around the world in different cultures. And those cultures could give a shit about the United States and what the hell we do to one another about
You're right.
storylines. They don't give a shit.
You're
They
right.
do not. They don't
You're right.
care. okay, they want to sit over there in that country and lie to each other. Okay, as long as they keep buying all the shit, little trinky dink things we make,
Well,
who gives a damn?
you could possibly be very correct. You saw the
No.
Bigfoot in Russia, the thing that was hopping through the forest.
Oh no, I don't know about that one. No.
Is that the one where
Really, you never saw that?
the grandfather and the grandson?
I don't know who it was. Yeah, it was two people that were filming it.
Yeah.
What else could that be?
Oh, where was it again?
It's in Russia.
That's the
Russia.
Almasty. The Almasty.
Yeah.
Was it in the
Yeah,
snow?
you're right. Dude, that's
It
one
was
of the
in the
best.
snow.
No, it wasn't in the snow. It was in a forest.
Yeah, and the way that thing is hopping, it's weird because it's kind of like a side to side, but it would make these leaps. It was weird video.
Yeah,
When it was
Yeah.
gonna make a big jump, it would put its
Okay,
arms
well,
out to
And his
stabilize
hands were up
itself.
in the air, and
And dude,
yeah.
that
I've
was
seen
some
that.
long ass arms.
Yeah, I seen that one thing actually pull itself like almost like a frog would like as it would leap forward, it would like pulled itself off a couple of saplings to like project itself forward like Superman. Like
That's
it had
exactly what it
was able
did.
to, like, kick off trees and shit. Not like it was the size of probably like an Arnold like jacked human, you know what I mean? But like it just wasn't, you know, it just wasn't. The movements don't match.
Did y'all see that one episode? I forgot what it's on. One of them was on Monster Quest. This guy took and put on a ghillie suit and he filmed everything with a camera so it would look like from the 70s. And it was
Yes.
attacking them and all. And that was so stupid. And then that one guy, I forgot what he was on, but anyway, he supposedly shot two Bigfoot and buried them because he thought he was going to get in trouble, put branches over them. They went back.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, then they examined the blood on his boots and found out it was bear. And they called him a liar on national TV. I mean, that would be the worst humiliation you could ever get right there.
You're absolutely right.
On national TV.
fuck around and found out.
I mean, dude, I watched what is that called? One of the best Bigfoot things. Flash of Beauty today. I'm not. Yeah, I watched that, but I watched something else too. And some people went on an expedition with that same guy you talking about.
Oh yeah.
And they had some crazy ass like shit that happened.
Small Town Monsters is going crazy, man. They're putting out this one documentary right after another, and I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there on their channel.
Yeah, dude, it was actually Small Town Monsters.
Yeah, they're doing a lot.
So,
What is that?
Northwood, you called it an honesty. You
Yeah.
said all nasty. My ex must have taken a trip to Russia.
Yeah, I saw that. That was funny
Yeah.
as hell.
That guy was with the X-Files.
You know, I finally found that one old show. It's black and white from 1959, and this kid kept seeing something other at its window, and then he went off with it, and it set him up on a cliff way up high. They had to climb up to get him down, and they asked him how he got up there, and he said, "My friend put me up here. Me and him been playing." And then it never shows the creature, but then they finally go and blow the creature up in the cave and all at the end. But
What you talking about, dude?
no, it's 1959 series. You know, they were doing all this stuff, and evidently they was talking about a Bigfoot was coming to this kid's window because when they went around investigating the side of the house, outside the house, they found a humongous footprint outside the house where he was standing, and everything. But you know, that was funny to me that 1959 they put that out, and then it was like what 67? Yeah, it was October of 67. Then Patterson Gimlett filmed that Bigfoot.
Yeah, but
But,
Jerry Crew was in the 50s when they
what?
found all those Jerry Crew when they found all those footprints
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
around the construction
equipment.
site. That was in the 50s.
Yeah, it was.
So, dude, think about this. Okay, if we made a video, if we got a video of Patty in 1969, and think about how much technology has advanced.
It's actually 67.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
That was 2 months before I was born, and then my wife was born in 65. So then the Kecksburg Bell was found in 65 also.
The Kecksburg Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Supposedly that was the Nazis' time machine from World War II.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What was that called? Dust Glock or Glock something shit.
Yeah.
What it was
The Glocker. The Glocker.
Das Glock. Yeah.
something like that.
Das Glocker. Yep.
What's up, Blazer? Blazer says, Gillette, razor's so good you could shave a Bigfoot. Right for Bigfoot, Gus. What are you gonna do?
You don't think Bigfoots hibernate?
No,
No.
I can't.
Big Fritz says,
I
my
don't-
generation had Wonder Woman. Now they wonder if it's a woman.
No shit. Jay is absolutely right. Jay is absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It
How
is.
much we
It's so
devolve.
fucking true, though.
This is just another fucking thing that's just humans doing stupid shit to each other for no reason. Like nothing else does this shit. Nothing else is confused about what they got, what they are, what they got to do. No, not one other animal, not one other thing.
You're right.
Just-
Well, what
But
about
dude,
we got everything.
Hey,
We got serial killers. They don't. Nothing else like serial kills itself unless it's for a purpose. Like, you know, maybe some lions or something. Like a lion pride is gonna be, you know, whatever. But like, you know, mass. What else?
Animals are just being animals.
y'all sewers?
Right,
are blowing
exactly,
up.
yeah.
Mike,
Yeah.
what's up with y'all sewers, man? They're blowing up.
The
What's that?
knobs.
The sewers in New York was blowing up, blowing the manhole covers off.
The what was?
What?
The sewer covers.
Oh,
They
the
had-
sewer. I don't know. I
Yeah.
couldn't.
There
I
was
couldn't
downtown
tell you.
Manhattan.
Blowing up in
There
New
was
York.
downtown Manhattan and a couple of more places around that area. They had too much carbon dioxide in there or something or other. They had to shut down an apartment complex. All this
Goddamn
stuff.
carbon dioxide. No way.
I don't know. Let's talk about it on TV, something there about it. But anyway, I didn't get it all straight. My mind goes blank here and there. But anyway, it was some kind of gas building up in it and blowing the sewer covers off of it and busted up the concrete pretty good. What do y'all think about the UK? They fix them do the chemtrails where they're going to block out the sun so that they can have a little shade.
Yeah, right. Sure.
They're spending 50 billion euros on that just so the
And
jets can fly.
they're gonna reverse climate change, right?
Yeah,
Which
they
is a
think.
fucking lie
They
in the
think.
first place. Yeah, that's something that government would waste their fucking money on.
Yeah. Well, they're
That's
going
just
to
my
do it.
opinion.
They done gave 50 billion euros towards the program.
For what?
Good
For
for them.
chemtrails to do what? Block out the sun?
Yeah.
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 It's fucking Europe. There's hardly any sun there to begin with.
Okay.
No shit.
The chemical they're using, if you ever watch your gutters, whenever it comes out the downspout and it bubbles up and starts foaming up,
Yes.
okay, that chemical is coming from the air automatically because it's some kind of chemical that causes that reaction in water. Okay,
What
so
chemical are you talking
what
about?
they're actually going to do is they're going to poison our food supply and our water supply. It's some kind of chemicals all mixed together, and when the jets fly over it, shoots out black chemtrails, and it blocks out the sun so that that don't get too hot. Y'all quit.
What a wonderful idea.
So what
Yeah,
I've been seeing.
What chemical? I'm sorry, Mo.
Like
I mean,
go ahead.
Florida just passed, the Florida Senate, I guess, or whatever it is, just
Yeah.
passed a bill that
banning.
weather manipulation.
Yes.
Well, doesn't that kind of say, hey, guess what we've been doing?
Right.
You know what? Why would they have
Yeah,
to ban the fucking shit?
Well,
Huh?
it might. Yeah, it might
Well,
be. It
they
might be
do.
them.
I'll tell you what they do. They sit around and play with this crap in the labs, and then they turn it loose on a certain population and see what it does, and then they want to put bans on it and everything. You know, they just now banned a whole bunch more food coloring in the the dyes for the eggs and stuff. You know, the food
They-
coloring.
There's been.
Shit in our food that shouldn't be there anyway.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's so funny. You ever read up on the history? Go ahead and read your thing there.
Gate Smasher says, if you know, then you know. We are only here for a short time. Why not be good to each other? Helping each other up. After seeing death so much, I want to make a difference for the living. Right on.
Right.
That's right.
I couldn't agree more.
That's a good
Yeah.
message.
Has any of y'all ever studied up the history on the can, the food can?
The what?
Back whenever they started canning food, they used lead to make their cans with instead of tin. So
Yeah,
that automatically caused food poisoning right there because of the mercury from the lead. Okay, then they didn't have.
lead poisoning.
Okay, this is back during the Revolutionary War. They did not have a can opener until 100 years after they created the can. Okay, so they sent all this food over to the soldiers on the front line in these cans. Well, they didn't know how to open them, so they was using their bayonets. Most of them were cutting their fingers off or stabbing themselves. So finally, they just started shooting the dang things and everything. Well, then they finally figured out that the lead was causing lead poisoning in there, and they were slowly dying from the mercury. So they changed it over to the tin.
It's not mercury, it's lead.
Yeah, but I mean, it's weird if you read up on some history of stuff, how ignorant they were whenever they first started out. You know, especially with the X-rays. You know, they messed themselves up playing around with that X-ray, sitting there doing one right after another.
They really did fuck up, but how the fuck would they know what kind of hazards lead posed?
Well, let me read this real quick.
Black-
Blackie says weather manipulation is real. We just don't.
We just did a show.
We just did a show on it. Research it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. HAARP. It's weather manipulation is fucking real. It really is.
Dubai was one of the first countries to start doing it because they wanted rain. You know, they were doing fake rain, but yeah, it's been around. And what I've been seeing here is they're starting at like one end of the island, these two planes, and they're I don't know, maybe 5,000 feet up, but they're like, it looks like they're crop dusting almost. They have these chemtrails behind them, and they go, whatever they have there, you know, GPS set on or whatever. At one point they cross, you know, it's probably like the midpoint. So let's just say 100 miles of Long Island, right? They crisscross at 50 and they end up making this X. And then you could see, sure as shit, if it's not the next day, it's the day after, it's full of clouds, the sky. And it's like, it's not just like, oh, it's cloudy.
Cloud.
Yeah, it's dirty looking. Yeah, hazy and like it almost looks like, and it's not the moonlight behind it because I know what that is, right? Obviously, but it's like gross looking, and I just wonder how nobody pays attention to it. But what are you gonna do about it? Like, what are you gonna do? I've got a couple of videos of it. Like, what do you do? Just
Well,
all we could do is educate each other and talk to each other. I'm like,
back in the 1800s, they called that salt in the clouds.
Ghostbusters.
But yeah, they're doing a lot. I mean, the battle, the channel called The Battle. He put
Mhm.
out a post, he put out a post and had it about the microwave and all that, where somebody can take and have something other rigged up, and all they got to do is point it at you and follow you around and mash a button, and they can slowly kill you over time with that microwave.
Have you heard of? I'm sorry to cut you off. Have you heard of the Havana syndrome?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's the that sound.
Cicadas.
We had diplomats in Havana, Cuba.
Yeah,
And
the embassy.
they just started fucking dropping, and it kind of pretty much seems that they were using microwaves, like microwave, exactly what Wendell's talking about, to kill our
It's
people.
not Wendell, dude.
Oh, have y'all noticed how many planes have crashed? And ever wondered, how many who all is on them planes that are imported? They're just trying to assassinate or something.
yeah, Elena talks to me about that almost every. She's scared to fly. She talks to me about it all the time, and I do agree with you on that. Yeah, I think you have to look at who was on the plane, and we need to start keeping track of that. I think, are these planes just going down, or was there a target on it? And
That's true.
I guarantee you, they do keep track of who's on a plane. But you talking about the Malaysia thing?
no,
I'm talking about all these here recently.
there's a lot of them going down for no good reason. It's not like
I've seen that. I've seen there's a lot of planes going down for whatever the fuck reason.
I don't fly, but I got to thinking about it. If I got on a plane and I heard "Hi, Senator," I would turn around and get right back off.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just goes back to that one lady who was like, "That motherfucker is not real." The guy in the back of the plane.
Shit. No shit. I remember that.
He's not real. You
That
can stay.
Yeah. She was hot, by the way.
I don't care what you all do. I'm getting off of this shit. Like,
And when, in a time where you have to drag people off, she's like, "I'm out."
yeah.
Well,
That motherfucker's not real. Yeah, you're right. It's the story.
He wanders away.
I like the second version of the Twilight Zone where they made the movie, and it had the gremlin on the
wing.
They had the gremlin on the wing of the plane, and
I'm glad they said
I mean, that one was so much better. Because at the end, he said, "Hey, you gonna see something really cool?" Yeah, and then he turns around, he's a monster.
I've been hoping, she's just been weird to me for the probably in a 5 to 10 year zone. I was hoping to find a dragon egg or something so I could start teaching it how to fly me around.
Hey, I read an article that there's a lot of the trails on the Smoky Mountains got closed this year for no reason. Nobody's getting any reason of why they're closed.
They haven't. There's a new law.
Because they cut back so much of the funding and the employees, non-essential government employees or whatever. The Forest Service got affected by that too. So
I bet it's really dragging.
I mean, to me, that would be just hike at your own risk. I mean, really.
Oh, isn't it that way anyway?
No, because somebody just told me that you can't go off trail in the Smoky Mountains, and it's very controlled. Like they really keep, like, they have people out there that are really like enforcing it. So maybe this is just their way of like, you know, like you said,
Well,
maybe they made some cuts and now they're
maybe
just
they don't
saying
have
like,
the
well, we're
people
just
to
going to
control
close
it,
this
so
and close that.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. You know?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but
And then though I see in the Catskills, like if somebody reports, not just there, it's upstate New York, pretty much in general, but like I'll be off trail and shit, and I'll bump like, you know, not even far. Sometimes it's all you could see it from the trail, but they'll have this giant like sign that says rattlesnake area, like don't, you know, do not go over, and you know, my mind starts saying. Yeah, but my mind starts saying, "Is it really rattlesnakes? Or are they trying to keep us out here for a different reason?" You know.
that's true. But have you ever wondered, though, that the government will not say that Bigfoot or Dogman exists, but then all of a sudden you hear so many people talking about the government went in and they hunted down Dogman or they hunted down Bigfoot and killed them, killed a whole clan of them and everything? I mean,
Sure did.
I don't know. Yeah, I've heard a lot of things, and you know, it's hard. You know, it's tough. It's tough to decipher.
well, I mean, your brain's going two different ways. For one, the government says it's not real. Why would they send out people to hunt it down if it's not real and they don't believe in it? But then again, you think about, well, it's a cover up. You know, they're going out and killing all these creatures and everything whenever
Well,
they find them.
It's the same thing as the units that are in the military that aren't in the military. You know what I mean? It once upon a time it was Blackwater, but now it's, you know, oh no, we don't have Blackwater anymore. No, yeah, you do. It's just something else and something else. And I used to sit down at bars with some of these guys. They have them for every division, and you know, and they're in every country. They're you know, they're there. They're there. They're doing it. They're just because they're not wearing our same uniform. They're
Well, wasn't Blackwater a mercenary group? That was a private group.
yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly what it is. But it's not. The government doesn't recognize them. You know what I mean? Because like they're
actual soldiers, right?
Yeah, because if they get caught, then they say
do
you don't exist.
they do shit outside the rules of engagement. Let's put it that way. So like if they send the Green Berets or the Navy SEALs or whatever, they can only do so much. These guys don't have to operate within the military code conduct.
Meaning that they can operate on U.S. soil.
At period, yeah, they can do whatever. Yeah, they can do anything. Yeah,
Do whatever they want.
Yeah, well,
You
but
name
I'm
it.
saying, yeah,
It's unregulated.
but the government and our armed services can't do shit on U.S. soil except the National Guard.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, I shared a story with you about my uncle on a telephone call me and you done. And I shared it on Texas Front Porch too. I want to share it here too. My uncle was in the Air Force, and this was back in the early 70s when this happened. He was a sergeant, and he was the last person there with any pull at the base. And some top secret documents come in, and they told him, said the CO said, handcuff this to you, keep it, do not let it leave your sight, don't let it leave your body, don't take the handcuff off or nothing, and bring it back to the base tomorrow. He'll meet you first thing in the morning. Well, as soon as he got home, it got late at night. They called him from the base, told him to get back up there, that the CO had showed up and he wanted those documents, and they was in a briefcase. Well, he drove back to the base, but instead of getting greeted and entering into the base, they opened fire on him right at the front gate, and he was buried here in Haleville with a closed casket. And they said that his car was riddled up so much with bullets that it looked worse than Bonnie and Clyde's. And my dad, he got his detective license, and my aunt hired him to find out what happened. So he drove down to Florida to the Air Force Base, and he was met by the FBI and some of the top brass in the military. And they told him, said, this don't exist. He was buried with honors. Everything's over with. It's closed case as far as we're concerned. And they said, don't ever mention it again. And, that's the way that I thought the military worked. And I was afraid whenever I got 18 to go into the military because that was on my mind so bad. They gonna do the same thing to me or something, but I didn't get to go in because I already had three brothers. I got three brothers serving in the military and one in jail, or in prison, so they wouldn't let me in. But
Whatever. My guess is whatever was on those documents that maybe they couldn't risk the chance that he did see what was in there or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of.
I don't know, but it's there's a lot of that went on. Back then, it probably still goes on today. Who knows? But
Sparky's Paranormal and Outdoors. Good to see you. Welcome.
There's a lot of things that I've seen firsthand on a lot of different scales that were not supposed to happen. And but I wouldn't say it live on air. I would not. I mean, it's just not. It incriminates myself every time too because you're there. It doesn't matter. You're there.
Well, that's the same way my brother was. He was in the Air Force, and I asked him, I said, "Do you ever see any UFOs?" He said, "I can't talk about it. Even if I did, I can't talk about it."
Plausible deniability. Neither deny or confirm.
Yeah, that's right. But there's a lot of weird stuff goes on. Jeez, secret.
Good to see you, Jeff. Jamie, what's up?
All right, I'm gonna see myself out because I was just gonna pop in for a minute, but got kind of fun here. It was good seeing you all.
All right, Mike.
Good to see you.
All right. Yeah, you too, Stevie.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, Jen.
Okay.
See you.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat.
Okay.
Right on.
I'm gonna have to take and find me an old phone here in the house and change batteries because this one it won't stay charged long.
Oh no, keep it plugged in.
I don't know. I've got everything working, but I had 5% whenever I joined the show, and it's drained it down to 2% just sitting here, and there's nothing on in the background.
I bet your mom did that.
Well, I've got 3 more of these old phones like this, so I can change batteries out. See if that works. Margs, I got a problem. I filmed my show. I don't know. I still can't get it off of the StreamYard to its destination is to my channel. But when I got done, it showed that it was going to my channel, but it didn't. And then I got the link off of it, and I sent it to text to an email and told him, I said, I made this short video this morning, and he didn't even get the link on it. All he got was the message.
Because you probably didn't upload it properly, I'm guessing. Because like when you go into the studio for YouTube, then you have to import the video from your files into YouTube. And then once you have it, then you can, really.
I'm gonna have to have somebody walk me through this. Cause I'm not used to StreamYard. I'm just used to filming it on my camera and then turning around and sending it over to YouTube from there. So I got to figure out.
Have a good night.
Be safe.
Watch that next branch.
Yeah, y'all had an interesting conversation going. I wanted to join in and see what was going on.
Right on.
Oh,
He says,
seriously.
I'm going to leave. I hear something moving in the bushes.
That's why I said be safe.
Yeah.
Why don't you think that the government wants people to know about Sasquatch?
Government don't want you to know nothing. Everything you learned in school is a lie.
Uh,
I doubt everything, but there is a lot of
Pretty much.
stuff that we've been misinformed on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's all based on assumptions, you know, be it the pyramids and the ancient Egyptians to whatever. You know, somebody throws out a story and it sticks. That becomes the norm, you know, on who they
Yeah.
were. And
Victor writes history.
Well, I watched Ancient Aliens. I can't go along with them no more because, all that crap. But then I started watching some of this Gaia stuff, and they're way out there. I mean, I can't even relate to half of what they're talking about. And then, I don't know, it's crazy stuff, man.
So, like, all the way on one side, they got the government that doesn't want you to know about shit. And then all the way on the other side, there's Gaia that tell you the craziest shit that people can just, pass the ball, right?
Well, I still can't get over old Billy Carson telling everybody that the pyramids was built for a grain silo.
Billy Corson.
it's a lot of
That's a
grain.
whole lot of grain that would fit in that pyramid.
Oh, okay.
I want to know if what they're talking about as far as what's underneath the pyramids is true or not.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that.
Columns and coils and yeah.
Dude, these fucking tridactyl things in Peru. So being, it's like
When did Jim leave?
I saw that a while back. He's in charge.
yeah, we did talk about this. Yeah, with the girl that was South America.
Sorry, Ben.
Sorry.
But these beings, this mummies that they found, 3 fingers. Man, this shit is real.
Have you ever watched Hammerson Peters? The channel Hammerson Peters. You ever watched that?
Sounds
No.
familiar.
He's got one episode on there about the little people and talking about the North Pole, and the explorers went over and they started seeing looked like coffins, but it was made out of ice sheets. They had took and made the wall, the 4 walls for it, and then put a lid on it. One of them slid it off, and this little elf laying there, and everything. And what did I do? What did I do?
Still here.
Bristol said, Jay Fritz, don't ask. Fishing sucks lately. I agree.
Right.
Bristol, good to see you.
Lately.
Wow.
Danny says he used to see the little people all the time at the wrestling matches.
That's funny.
Tiny Titans.
Man.
Dude, they're
Wow.
Jay Fritz is just full of jokes tonight. He says, if you get a message from me about canned meat, don't open it. It's spam.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to bed.
Did y'all lose me?
behind you.
Ben, it was good to see you.
Good to see you, Ben.
Am I still on or what?
Yes.
Good stuff, yeah.
All I can see is a black screen and it says I'm backstage.
No. There you. Well, Ben just left. Ben, thanks, man. We'll talk soon.
Ben.
No, David, you're frozen on screen, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I know, a black screen. It shows black screen and says I'm backstage, but
You're right here. We see
Let
you.
me hold on. Let me try something. No, now we just have the black screen.
anyway. Well, I'm gonna jump out of here anyway. I just wanted to holler at y'all and say, hey,
All right,
enjoy
David.
I was enjoying that conversation and wanted to join in a little bit.
Right on. I'm glad you did.
All right, y'all take care.
You too, man.
David.
Have a good night. That was fun.
Right.
I want to get back to highlighting some chat.
Hey, David. Good to see you.
Jay says, "Where does Little Debbie live?" You know, just in case I have to start hunting for a living. I think I got some Little Debbie around here somewhere. There is Little Debbie in the house, isn't there?
I don't know. I know nothing.
David Blaylock, good to see you. Jim, if you're splitting, take care. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, Bristol just said the fishing sucks. I've, you know, behind the house here, it's just the water's going down and we haven't been catching crap bees or bass or I caught like a 1 3/4 bass yesterday at work. But yeah, it's just been really, really slow. Yeah,
Non-existent for me.
it's been a while since you caught a fish, huh?
It has. But I haven't fished in a while either. I haven't had time. Or the energy.
I gotta go through my my tackle, see if I'm looking for a certain plastic. I don't know if I have any tube baits.
And they're hard to find around here because all the damn tournaments.
Well, no, I mean we looked for tube jigs for crappie fishing, and I couldn't find any. The one place got rid of them because they weren't selling.
Which is stupid to me.
Yeah, I was like, what? She had every other crappie jig, but not
yeah,
the tubes.
They didn't really have a good selection though. I didn't think.
It seemed like they were bringing in more stuff. Like they were, I don't know, restocking. I don't know. It was weird.
Were they?
Tina says, use some crickets, Mogs.
Yeah.
I've never fished with crickets.
I don't do bugs.
I used to use mealworms. That was the closest thing I got to, bugs. I fished with leeches once for walleye in Wisconsin. Jay Fritz says, to all men, when a woman laughs during an argument, the psycho part has been activated. Abort mission. Sparky says, grasshoppers are lovely in the water. Are good. We've kind of gotten away from live bait now. We're using artificials a lot. Last year we went through a lot of live bait out here because we had there was a lot of fish out there, and then they took out all the lily pads and it just destroyed it. Still trying to figure out who to sue. Oh no! I bought this place because of the water and the lily pads and the fishing, and somebody just came along and took it all away. I mean, it's still a great view.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll come back.
It's coming back slowly.
The bugs are hatching and the fish want live food.
So do I.
Yeah, when I used mealworms, it was only when I was trout fishing, river fishing. I've used night crawlers, minnows for trout, lures. I got to turn you on to trout fishing.
Let's go.
I got to find a friggin' trout stream. I don't think there is any in Florida.
Ooh, I think so either. Let's go. Harmon.
Might have to go to Georgia. Danny, take care. Good night.
Night, Danny.
David says, Jay, little Debbie moved in with the Keebler Elves, cut down on the cost of living. She's a whore. What? It's called Snow White syndrome. David says, Richie, where did you hide Mr. Lee? It's in his beard. He's in his beard. Richie's beard is down to like, I don't know, here. Although I think he trimmed it the last time we saw him.
A little bit. This says road trip.
I never got into to fly fishing, really. The last time I tried it was on the Colorado River, and I was just dicking around. Didn't catch fish, but I'm sure if I got into it, I'd get into it. But I have enough tackle. I don't need. I do have some fly stuff here, actually. I have a lot of flies. Just haven't used it. Jay says, I'm so tired, I'm getting stupid silly. But I know you guys will say, what's tired have to get to do? What's tired have to do with it?
That's like getting.
Yeah. Sparky says, fly fishing is my jam. So much fun. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's a great sport. I think it's the whole principle of it's pretty cool. You know? But I wouldn't know when to use a wet fly or a dry fly or
I'm sure it would
a nymph compared to a fake Helgamite or something. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I would just tie something on and cross my fingers, you know, like we do now. David says, Jay, we just thought your meds kicked in. We're going to try some trout fishing in August. Don't know if it's trout season then, but going to give it a try. Depends where you're fishing. You know, if you're like, most of the trout fishing, the last time I went trout fishing was in Arizona. And they were like lakes, or they called them lagoons, but they're man-made ponds, just big-ass ponds. And they would stock them. And it was always during the fall and the winter because they wouldn't survive. They don't survive during the summer because the water gets too warm. And they become food for the bass that are in there and catfish. But we'd use different lures and power baits, but it was different fishing. You know, when you're fishing a lake than, say, a river where you're fishing with the current and, you know, you're reading the river and you know where a trout's going to be sitting behind that rock or in that eddy, and it's cool to read a river and learn that. That's why I like river fishing. I always loved trout fishing. Just never got into the whole fly fishing part of it. Caucasian Sasquatch, what's up, man? Good to see you. Western North Carolina, Swan County. Swain? Swain. I said Swan. I looked at it real quick. I'm wearing my glasses. I can kind of see.
Kind
Kind of. Sharon says, thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate you all. Have a wonderful evening and a blessed weekend. Love you all. Oh, we love you too, Sharon.
What she said. Thank you, Sharon. About that time almost.
Yes, we got
2 minutes.
2.
On
Mine's,
my phone, anyways.
my up here says about 6 minutes.
Yeah, well, when I go by up there.
You can leave. Go to bed. Go get some sleep.
Nice.
No, you know what I mean. Go get some rest.
Nice.
Sparky says, don't forget to sub, hit that notification bell, and smash that like button. Papa's almost awake.
Me too.
Why bother? Go back to bed.
Right? Papa, give Nana a big hug for me, please.
Heard
Let her
that.
said hello. Heard me.
Sharon says, Papa, that's impossible for Jay to be good.
Right?
I am so thrilled that everything went well
Yeah.
with Janet.
Me too.
You know, I know by Jay's mood,
Oh,
he
absolutely.
is in a big, lot. You know, there's
It's
a lot of relief.
It's a lot of relief, yes.
So we're happy for you, Jay and Janet.
And still, if you need anything, we're right
You know
here.
where we are, dude. We're right down the road. You know, anytime you want us to hang out or whatever, or you want to come here, whatever. You know, we're here. Scott B, what's up? Just in time to say goodnight. It's better late than never, right?
Yes.
Who else? So there's so many in chat. Guys, check out the Oddcast podcast. What is it?
You almost said Pod Bless.
No, I didn't. No, I was trying to remember the rest of
I
it.
know.
That's Erica and Blackie. They do a good show. Wendell, check out his show, Bigfoot 911. NAC's, you know, David's doing some stuff now.
Christina Harold.
Christy and Harold was hanging out with them last night. OCST, they're on Wednesday nights.
LIB.
LIB, I never know when he's on, but he's
But
taking a break right now.
Check out his channel.
But yeah, absolutely, check out his channel.
I'm thrilled to see everybody doing well with their shows and channels. And
Absolutely,
the work
it's just
the work
fun
that people
to.
put into it, you have to appreciate it. You know, it's awesome.
But to see that many people take the plunge and
I said I never would.
get, oh yeah.
I still say I never would.
And,
You
you know,
look at
it's-
my channel, I got like maybe 6 shorts on there.
yeah, but
If that. You know, I just hang out. I always have. That's my contribution to this community. I just hang out. Yeah,
so you're the female Jim, is that what you're saying?
pretty much.
Okay.
The lazy, you know. Don't want to type. I got tired of typing for years. I typed in chat. So I'm like, fuck it. I just sit here and hang out. Yes, Judy. They're all good channels. That's what's cool about it. They're good people.
It was funny though. Last night, I'm sitting there, and you know, they're doing their show, and I'm the guest, and I hear them go, you know, click on the link and chat, and I'm like, yeah, you know, you don't have to be on camera. Click the camera up. Blah, blah. I was like, this all sounds familiar.
Erica says, "What's Stevie B's channel name?" Stevie B.
Yeah,
That's it.
just like Tina G's channel is Tina G.
Yeah. I don't have anything on there. Just maybe 6 little shorts. There is one video that's kind of interesting. It's that little clip that I caught when I wasn't.
Oh, it's on there.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, right on.
I have it on there. It's the most viewed. I think 100 some people looked at it.
No, it's one person who just kept.
Yeah, kept watching it over and over
Is
again.
that, wait. Yeah, so Stevie's got that 4-second video that we filmed down in
That I filmed.
that she filmed, but we were camping down near Okeechobee, and
I had no idea. I hadn't gotten my prosthetics yet. I was in a wheelchair, and I was just strolling along the fence line while he's working on my truck, and I'm just kind of bored and strolling along. I found a dark spot, like a kind of an opening in the thick Florida brush, and I pulled out my phone and I started taking pictures. So I thought, months later, I'm going through my phone, dumping it. I needed to clear up storage space. Come across this 4-second video of, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm looking at it, and you can, when you see it, you see the back end of what looks like a very large cat, just walking probably 20 feet from where I was, if that. Only thing dividing us is maybe a 3-foot fence, real small fence. And again, I'm in my wheelchair, so I'm down ground level almost with the damn thing. Didn't hear it, didn't see it, but you can catch 4 seconds of the back end of it just walking ahead of me. The only comfort I take in that whole thing is knowing that I had my weapon in my lap while I was wheeling myself down that fence line.
yeah, it's one of those things. Go if you happen to go to her channel, go check out that video. It's the 4-second one, and you'll have to watch it over and over. But look in that dark hole, and you'll see something walk by, and it's on 4 legs, but you only see from like the middle section, so you see the back legs and the tail. We're convinced, pretty convinced, it's like a mountain lion.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it's that big. You look at the tail on it, how straight. and
Jamie
pointed it
says,
is.
Muggs, do you remember about 2 weeks ago when I said I walked into the casino and won
Yeah,
$625 in about 15 minutes? Yeah. Did you give it all back?
I feel like you did it again. Look, 5,200. Wow.
I went to the casino tonight with my 2 oldest buddies. We each put in $50, and the second turn of spins, I hit the grand prize. $5,200.
Right on.
Fucking A,
Are
dude.
you home now?
Yeah, I hope you said.
I hope you're home now.
I'd be like, let's go grab some dinner and get the hell out of here.
That's right. Gotta run.
See ya. Even Papa said it's a mountain lion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's just bizarre that I was that close to it and I was by myself. It wasn't a windy day. I remember the day perfectly. Sun was out. It was kind of warm. I was just strolling along. Didn't see a thing. All I was doing was concentrating on that dark area. And I have like 2 pictures ahead of that little 4-second video of that little dark area. That's I guess, when you go to take a picture and you're accidentally on video and you're like, oh, I was like, oh shit, just swiped and over to the photo and happened to catch that 4 seconds of it.
Well, my last camera, I guess this one does it. It'll record live. Like you can take a picture, but it's a moving picture for like 2 or 3 seconds or whatever.
Well, if you look at that little clip, you can actually hear the thing walking. You can hear it crunching on the palm fronds. I didn't even hear that. I was just preoccupied with looking in that little dark space, that little entrance into the brush.
Bristol said if you saw it by accident and didn't hear anything, it's a panther.
Florida Panther.
We played more, but free dinner, free scotch, free beer, and I'm home up $2,050. Right on. Well, you figure you split the 52 three ways because you each put in $50.
Right.
So yeah, you're still ahead, dude. Right on.
$2,000.
Way to go.
Congrats. And it sounds like you had fun, so.
Right? I don't do casinos because my ex-wife
Yeah.
totally destroyed that.
Yeah, Sharon, I am. I have. I don't feel good. Since yesterday. Late yesterday, but today's been hell.
Go get some sleep. We're done here.
I am.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. It was good to see everybody.
You all have a safe weekend.
Jim, Mike,
Happy
Dave,
weekend.
Ben. I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. Gotta get some ladies up here besides Stevie.
Yeah.
You know how to click that button.
Come join me. Come hang out. I'm outnumbered here.
Scott B says praying for you, Stevie B.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, guys, we'll be back on Tuesday. You know that. In the meantime, you guys have an amazing weekend.
Be safe. We love you. Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Peace and God bless.